Hello all. So far we have come till word embeddings. In the last session we have looked into what are word embeddings, how do we use them for NLP. Today in this session we would be discussing about two important word embedding algorithms which are called as skipgram and Cbow, which is continuous bag of words. Before we actually step into this topic, first we would analyze how do we represent word embeddings. Okay, so we've already seen this, that one of the representation for word embedding is one hot encoding. So this one hot encoding is typical representation, that is each word is encoded with a distinct vector like we have seen in the last sessions. So here when we talk about one hot encoding, the number of words is equal to the number of encodings here are is equal to the number of words. Okay, so when we talk about, let's say if we have 1000 words in that particular sentence, then it would result into 1000 vectors. Okay, so except for one value which distinguishes each representation, all the vectors are 0. So representing 1000 words with only one word as meaningful representation, other words being 0, has many problems. Okay, so many problems in the sense the vocabulary becomes extensive, that is the data would be huge or enormous. So employing a model with this encoding would result in the drawback which is called as curse of dimensionality. So even though we don't require all the words, but when you go for one hot encoding, only one particular word will have that one representation and remaining all will be zeros. Okay, so this concept is this drawback is called as curse of dimensionality. So adding or removing terms from this vocabulary will affect the display of all words. So we rule out this method, and the second important method for representing your word embeddings is word to vector. Okay, word to vec is the short form that we use. Okay, so here word to vex is a neural network model of for word embeddings. So here we generate word vectors. Okay, so when I talk about word vectors, they are numerical representation of word features. Okay, so through the word vectors that are produced by word to vector algorithm, these word embeddings actually assist in forming the relationship of a term with another word with a similar meaning. Because when we talk about NLP, we take context into picture, where context is used in all the models, right? So when you want to look into the neighboring words to learn the embedding, we have to go for word to vector. Okay, so when we talk about word to vector, there are two important word to vector algorithms that comes into picture in NLP, and they are skipgram and continuous bag of words. Okay, so these are two distinct architectures that word to vector can be part of word to vectors that can be used for building word embeddings. Okay, skipgram and Cbow, continuous bag of words. Okay, now basically these are used for calculating word embeddings when you get large textual data. So we initially call them as algorithms. Okay, NLP algorithms, skipgram and Cbow. Okay, now let's look into each one of them in detail. As you can see in the diagram, this is the overview of both the algorithms, word to vector algorithms. Okay, so first is Cbow and the second is skipgram. Okay, as you can see in the first picture, it depicts that in the first model called Cbow, we have distributed representation of context or the surrounding words which are all combined. Okay, as you can see, WT of -2, WT of -1 and so on, that is the input is nothing but distributed representations of context, and these are combined to predict a word in the middle. Okay, so using the other words in the context as input, we are trying to predict one word in the middle. Okay, but when you go for skipgram model, here the input is one representation. Using that input, we will have distributed representation to predict the context. Okay, so here the context representations is available and we are predicting the word in the middle, missing word in the middle. But whereas here we have the context word and we have word in the input, and using this we are trying to produce the context. We predict the context in case of skipgram, whereas in Cbow we predict the word in the middle taking the context as input. Okay, let us study them in detail. Okay, first let's look into Cbow. Okay, Cbow says the continuous bag of words is a word to vector model that predicts a target word based on the surrounding context of words. Okay, based on the surrounding context of words, the target word is being predicted. Okay, let us take an example. Let us look into this sentence. I eat pizza on Friday. Okay, so when you encounter a sentence, the first and foremost thing that we do in NLP is tokenization. That is dividing or splitting the given sentence into words. Okay. Now, when I talk about I eat pizza on Friday, I have done the tokenization where I got I eat pizza on Friday. 5 tokens in this particular sentence. Okay. Now, when you want to create the training examples for this sentence for using Cbow model, we will consider these examples. Okay. Now, I pizza are the 2 words that will be given as input. Okay, here in the inputs I may give I pizza. So the target word that can be predicted is what? Eat. When I give eat on as my input words, the target word predicted could be pizza. When I give pizza Friday as inputs in the context, my output prediction will be, or the target word predicted can be on. So based on the tokens that are generated from the sentence, the context will be given as input, out of which the missing words will be generated as the meaning. Okay. Now, when you look at this particular architecture, Cbow typically has 3 layers: input layer, hidden layer and output layer. The input layer processes the words. Okay. So, these are the 2 words in the context that I am giving. So, the hidden layer processes these words with respect to the sentence and gives you the output layer prediction as eat. So, I eat pizza would be the sentence of this particular Cbow model. Okay. Now, the next architecture when we talk about is Cbow. Okay. So, this is another neural network architecture, same as Cbow, which comes under word to vector conversion. This will predict the context of the word given a word target. Okay. So, given a target word, one word will be given from which the context will be generated. Okay. So, the input to the Cbow model is a target word, while the output will be context of words. Okay. So, the main goal of the Cbow model is to learn the probability distribution of the context words given the target word. One target word will be given as input and the probability distribution of other words based on this would be the predicted output. Okay. Now, let's look into an example. Same example, I eat pizza on Friday. It will have I eat pizza on Friday as tokens. Okay. Now, when I look at this, here I am taking only one word, target word as input. When I say eat, the output target would be I pizza. Okay. I eat pizza. Okay. If I take pizza as input target word, my output will be eat on. When I take input target word as on, the output will be pizza on Friday. When I take input target word as Friday, target will be on. So, based on the input word, the context words will be predicted in your Cbow model. Okay. Okay, this is the simple architecture of Cbow. Here, my input layer will have target word that will be processed in the hidden layers where it will understand the word embeddings and produce the context words as output. Okay. So, when we compare these 2 models, okay, the parameters that we take into consideration are architecture, the content size both the model takes, the training, performance, word to vector and model size. When we look into Cbow, it predicts context words given a target word, whereas in Cbow it predicts a target word given context of words like what we have seen. Okay. So, here in Cbow, as you can see, the content size is large. It can take up to 5 to 20 words, whereas Cbow model can take only 2 to 5 words. Okay. So, slower training time due to multiple target prediction in Cbow, faster training time in Cbow, performance well with rare words and captures word diversity, that is advanced performance in Cbow, performs well with frequent words. In terms of performance, both the models are almost the same. When we talk about word to vector, word vectors with high dimensionality of 300 to 300, the same case there. Model size, Cbow has larger model size due to more parameters, whereas the model size is small for Cbow with very few parameters. Okay. So, in conclusion, both skipgram and Cbow model provide different approaches to word embeddings, offering a trade-off between training efficiency, semantic capture, and the ability to handle different dataset characteristics. Okay. So, choosing the appropriate algorithm requires specific considerations depending upon which task are we working on. Okay. So, depending on our application or the NLP task that we take up, we either use skipgram or Cbow word to vector algorithms. Thank you.